Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to learn about the inspiring life of Saint Faustina Kowalska, a humble Polish nun who became known throughout the world as the Apostle of Divine Mercy. Her life was simple, but her message was very powerful. She was not a queen or a famous person. She came from a poor family, worked ordinary jobs, lived as a simple religious sister, and faced many difficulties in her short life. But through her deep faith and trust in God, she became one of the most well known saints of modern time. Saint Faustina is specially remembered for the message of divine mercy. Her message tells us that God's mercy is greater than our mistake, our weakness, and our failures. She encouraged people to trust in Jesus, ask for forgiveness, show mercy to others, and never lose hope. So let us take a journey through her life and discover why Saint Faustina continued to inspire millions of people around the world. Her early life. Saint Faustina was born as Helena Kowalska on August 25, 1905 in Poland. She was born into a large family. She was the third of 10 children. Her parents were poor and worked very hard to take care of their family. Her father worked as a carpenter and also worked on the farm. The family did not have many material things, but the faith was an important part of their home. From a very young age, Helena learned to pray and to trust in God. She was an ordinary child who helped her family with daily responsibilities. She did not grow up thinking that she would one day become a famous saint. Her childhood was simple, but as she grew older, she began to feel a strong desire to give her life to God. Her calling. As a young girl, Helena felt that God was calling her to religious life. She wanted to become a nun. However, life was not easy for her. Because her family was poor, she had to work to help support herself. She worked as a domestic servant in different homes. Even while working, she continued to pray and think about her relationship with God. Eventually, she felt that she could no longer ignore the calling she felt in her heart. She decided to leave her home and go to Warsaw. There, she searched for a religious community that would accept her. After some difficulties, she was accepted by the Sister of Our Lady of Mercy. In 1925, she entered religious life. She received the religious name Sister Maria Faustina of the Blessed Sacrament. From this moment, her life became completely dedicated to God. A simple religious life. When we hear about saints, we sometimes imagine that they lived extraordinary lives every moment. But Saint Faustina's daily life was actually very simple. She performed ordinary duties, she worked as a cook, she cleaned, she helped in the garden, she served other people, she performed the responsibility given to her by her religious community. There was nothing glamorous about her life, but she tried to perform every duty with love. This is one of the beautiful lessons we can learn from her. We do not need to do something famous to live a good and meaningful life. Even ordinary work can become special when it is done with love. Helping our parents, doing our schoolwork honestly, helping a friend, being patient with someone, or simply doing our responsibilities properly can also be meaningful. Saint Faustina teaches us that holiness can begin with small things. Her relationship with God. Prayer became the center of Saint Faustina's life. She spent a great deal of time praying and reflecting on God's love. She believed that God wanted people to come closer to Him. She also believed that people should not be afraid to approach God when they make mistakes. Instead of running away from God because of guilt, people should turn towards Him and ask for forgiveness. According to her diary, Faustina experienced visions and spiritual experiences involving Jesus. She recorded these experiences carefully. Her writings later became known as Diary Divine Mercy in My Soul. This diary became an important part of her spiritual legacy. The message of divine mercy. The most important message associated with Saint Faustina is the message of divine mercy. But what exactly does divine mercy mean? In simple word, it means God's loving kindness, compassion, and forgiveness towards humanity. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we say things we should not say. Sometimes we hurt other people. Sometimes we make wrong choices. Sometimes we feel that we are not good enough. Saint Faustina's message reminds us that we should not give up. God's mercy invites us to return to Him. We can ask for forgiveness, we can learn from our mistakes, we can change, and we can begin again. This message of hope became the heart of Faustina's spiritual mission. Jesus, I trust in you. One of the best known phrases connected with Saint Faustina is Jesus, I trust in you. These words express the heart of her message. Trust is very important in Christian life. Sometimes we do not understand why certain things happen. Sometimes we are worried about our future. Sometimes we experience difficulties in our family, studies, friendships, or personal lives. During such moments, Saint Faustina's message encourages us not to lose hope. We can pray, we can ask God for strength, we can place our worries in God's hand. Trust does not mean that every problem will definitely disappear, immediately disappear. It means continuing to have faith even when the life is difficult. The Divine Mercy image. Saint Faustina is also closely connected with the famous Divine Mercy image of Jesus. According to her diary, she received a request connected with having an image of Jesus painted. The image shows Jesus standing in one hand raised in blessing. His other hand is near his heart. Two rays come from the area of his heart. The image is meant to remind people of God's mercy and love. At the bottom of the image are the words, Jesus, I trust in you. Today, the Divine Mercy image can be found in church, homes, prayer centers, and Catholic communities around the world. For many people, simply looking at the image is a reminder that God's mercy is always available to those who sincerely turn towards Him. The Divine Mercy Chaplet. Another important part of Saint Faustina's message is the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. It is a prayer focused on God's mercy. People pray it for themselves, for their families, for people who are suffering, and for the whole world. The chaplet became widely known as the Faustina's death. Today, Catholics in many different countries pray it regularly. The prayer reminds us to ask for mercy and also to become people who show mercy to others. Prayer and action go together. If we ask God to be merciful to us, we should also try to be merciful towards other people. Mercy in our daily life. This is one of the important lessons from Saint Faustina. Mercy is not only something we talk about, mercy should be something we practice. For example, imagine that a friend makes a mistake. We could laugh at them or make them feel bad, but we could also encourage them and help them learn from the mistake. This is an example of mercy. If someone is lonely, we can spend some time with them. If someone needs help, we can help them. If someone has hurt us and sincerely apologizes, we can try to forgive. If someone is struggling, we can pray for them. These may seem like small actions, but small act of kindness can make a big difference in someone's life. Saint Faustina wanted people to understand that God's mercy should become visible through our own actions. Her suffering and illness. Saint Faustina's life was not without suffering. She experienced physical illness and became seriously sick. She suffered from tuberculosis and became increasingly weak. She also experienced spiritual struggles and difficult moments, but she continued to pray and trust in God. Her example teaches us something important. Having faith does not mean that we will never have problems. Being a person of faith does not mean that life will always be easy. Instead, faith can help us face difficult moments with courage and hope. Saint Faustina tried to remain faithful even when she was suffering. Her humility. Another beautiful quality of Saint Faustina was her humility. She did not seek fame. She did not become a saint because she wanted people to admire her. She wanted to serve God. She wanted to help people understand God's mercy. She lived quietly and performed simple duties. This makes her story especially meaningful. Sometimes we think that we have to accomplish something huge to make a difference. But Saint Faustina shows us that a simple life filled with love can have a great impact. A kind word can change someone's day. A helping hand can give someone hope. A prayer can give someone comfort. A forgiving heart can heal a relationship. We should never underestimate the power of small acts of love. Her diary. Saint Faustina recorded many of her spiritual experiences and thoughts in her diary. The diary is called Diary Divine Mercy in My Soul. It gives readers a deeper understanding of her spiritual journey. One of the main ideas found throughout her writing is the trust in God's mercy. She encouraged people to recognize their weakness but not to become hopeless because of it. Instead, she encouraged people to turn towards God. Her diary later became an important source of people learning about the Divine Mercy devotion. Her final days. As Saint Faustina's illness became more serious, her physical strength became weaker. But she continued her religious life as much as she could. She continued to pray and to trust in God. On October 5, 1938, Saint Faustina died in Krakow, Poland. She was only 33 years old. Her earthly life has been short, but the message associated with her life continued to spread after her death. Her tomb at the Sanctuary of Divine Mercy in Krakow later became an important place of pilgrimage. People from different parts of the world began visiting the place to pray. Her road to sainthood. After Saint Faustina's death, devotion to divine mercy continued to grow. However, there were also periods when her message faced difficulties and restrictions. Her writings were later carefully studied. A devotion eventually became widely accepted in the Catholic Church. A special connection also developed between Faustina's message and Saint Pope John Paul, who was from Poland. Pope John Paul II beatified Faustina in 1993. Then on April 30, 2000, he canonized her as a saint in Rome. This was very important moment for the Catholic Church. Saint Faustina became known around the world as the apostle of divine mercy. Divine Mercy Sunday. Saint Faustina is also strongly associated with Divine Mercy Sunday. This celebration takes place on second Sunday of Easter. It focuses on God's mercy and forgiveness. For Catholics, it is a special day to remember God's love and to reflect on the importance of mercy. Churches around the world hold special prayers and celebrations connected with Divine Mercy. Many people pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet and spend time reflecting on God's love. What Saint Faustina teaches us. The life of Saint Faustina gives us many lessons. The first lesson is trust. When life becomes difficult, we should not immediately lose hope. We can pray and ask God for strength. The second lesson is forgiveness. Everyone makes mistakes. We should learn to ask for forgiveness when we are wrong. We should also learn to forgive others. The third lesson is kindness. We should look for opportunities to help people around us. We do not need to wait for a huge opportunity. We can begin with the people closest to us. The fourth lesson is humility. We should not always seek attention or praise. Sometimes doing something good quietly is more meaningful. And the fifth lesson is hope. Even when life is difficult, we should remember that difficult moments do not last forever. There is always a reason to keep going, keep praying, and keep believing in the possibility of something better. Saint Faustina's message for us today. Saint Faustina lived many years ago, but her message is still meaningful today. We live in a world that can sometimes feel very busy and stressful. People can become angry with one another very quickly. Arguments can happen easily. People can judge others without knowing their full story. Saint Faustina's message gives us a different way to live. Instead of judging quickly, we can try to understand. Instead of responding to anger with more anger, we can choose patience. Instead of remembering every mistake someone has done, we can give them an opportunity to change. Instead of losing hope, we can pray and continue moving forward. Her message reminds us that mercy is not weakness. Mercy means choosing love, forgiveness, compassion, and hope. As we come to an end of this journey through the life of Saint Faustina Kowalska, We can see why her story continues to inspire people around the world. She worked ordinary jobs. She was born into a poor family in Poland. She became a religious sister. She lived a simple life. She experienced illness and suffering, but she remained deeply committed to prayer and to the message of God's mercy. Her life reminds us that we do not have to be rich, famous, or powerful to make a difference. We can make a difference through simple acts of love. We can help someone, we can forgive, we can encourage, we can pray, we can listen, we can be patient, and we can show mercy. Saint Faustina's message can be remembered in one simple sentence: Jesus, I trust in you. These words can become a prayer for difficult days. When we are worried, we can say, Jesus, I trust in you. I hope the life of Saint Faustina Kowalska has inspired you to learn more about divine mercy, and most importantly to bring more kindness, forgiveness and love into your everyday life. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like the video, share it with your family and friends. Subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories about saints, churches, Christian history and our faith. Thank you for watching. God bless you, and may the message of divine mercy bring peace and hope to your heart. Jesus, I trust in you.